Welcome back to the 2-Minute Warning. Today I'm looking at the Cleveland Browns and reacting to them releasing defensive tackle Sheldon Richardson. But before getting to that topic, question for those of you viewing, especially you Browns fans out there, comment down below your thoughts and opinions and your reaction yourself on the Browns releasing probably one of their top nose tackles, that's for sure, but it is saving them $12 million, so it is really up for debate. So give me your thoughts on whether or not you like the move. And getting into the topic, starting off where I just stated the $12 million is probably the biggest incentive and motive behind this decision. Cleveland Browns just signed Jadeveon Clowney, pass rusher, linebacker, whatever you want to call him. He's just a defensive weapon for $10 million, and it essentially just, I don't want to say replaces exactly, but there's kind of where your $10 million and the $12 million you're saving is going towards Jadeveon Clowney. I would have been fond of the Browns keeping Sheldon Richardson for depth, but to me, this kind of shows off a signal that they're going to replace him in the NFL draft, possibly in the first or second round with the Christian Barmore, big defensive tackle out of Alabama. That's what this screams to me. And we'll be looking at a defensive line that has no more Sheldon Richardson, but Myles Garrett and Jadeveon Clowney possibly on the edge with DeCarris McKinley. And then in the middle, in the defensive tackle, in the nose tackle position, we got Malik Jackson and Christian Barmore, the rookie, working together. Not saying they're set in stone on a Christian Barmore. Maybe they don't want to run that type of defense. Maybe they don't want to replace him and they're confident with the guys they have in McKinley and Jackson and Clowney and Garrett, and they think that's enough pass rush. I think Barmore would be good for a run-stopping purpose, but who knows? I'm not the Cleveland Browns. I don't know which route they're going, but to me, I do think this signals Christian Barmore, and if not, it might just signal another type of player, another type of defensive player on that defensive line, maybe a Gregory Rousseau, Jalen Phillips, maybe a linebacker if Micah Parsons falls all the way down to 26. I doubt they'll get that lucky, but overall, I do think this kind of shows that the Browns are trying to save money and they're going to replace him with a cheaper guy. Like I said, Jadeveon Clowney's pretty much taken up that $12 million. He's getting paid 10, so it saves him 2 left. He's only guaranteed 8. I don't want to say only, so Browns technically might have $4 million to play with, but overall, I think this shows that the Browns are confident in what they got. Sheldon Richardson would have provided depth purposes, but clearly it is not a necessity in the Browns' eyes, and they're confident in what they have. Myles Garrett and DeCarris McKinley likely being the starting edges, and Jadeveon Clowney being an outside linebacker that situationally pass rushes or primarily pass rushers, but in only serious situations. This is a guy that has limited injuries and limited health, and the Browns are only going to use him in serious games once, they're not going to get 17 games out of him in this following season. They're going to only use him in situational plays, maybe third downs, or they're trying to get some blitz. They're not going to put him in every single snap, every single play, 17 games a year. They're going to try and preserve him as much as they can to the playoffs. Sheldon Richardson kind of provided some depth to assure they could do that, but Jadeveon Clowney and Sheldon Richardson do not play the same position by any means, so it's not. I don't think it'll affect it that much. I just think it was a little bit of depth on that defensive line that might have changed a couple snaps, a couple plays, a couple game plans. With the Browns, smart organization, they're becoming very well coached into Kevin Stefanski. I think they have a great game plan going, and they're not worried about Jadeveon Clowney and his health just yet. We'll have to see him play on the field, but overall, I'm fond of the move. Saving $12 million typically is going to be a good move 99% of the time. Yeah, if you were cutting your star player, if you're cutting Myles Garrett to save $20 million, it's a different situation. But most of the times when you can save money and save double-digit millions of dollars, it was a good route for the Browns, especially when they already have depth on that defensive line. You newly signed Malik Jackson, a defensive tackle that can't exactly, but can essentially replace Sheldon Richardson, and then you got, like I said, DeCarris McKinley, Jadeveon Clowney, and Myles Garrett controlling the pass rush and controlling the edge, and I seriously think they will go after Christian Barmore, a big defensive tackle that could create some blockage in the defensive line, be a plug, be a run stopper, and maybe even rack up a couple of sacks. It's not going to be his number one priority. Obviously, getting after the quarterback's number one priority, but his role is going to be stopping the run, creating some pressure, racking up the sack numbers. That's going to be a Clowney, McKinley, Garrett type of game plan. And Christian Barmore, I seriously think the Browns will target at number 26 overall. And like I said, they don't have to go defensive line, and they don't have to go Christian Barmore. There are other routes. Like I said, if a Gregory Rousseau from Miami falls or a Jalen Phillips falls, and you want to add even more depth behind Jadeveon Clowney in the pass rushing position, that is not a bad move. But I think a great steal would be either Micah Parsons or Caleb Farley. Caleb Farley is has nothing to do with Sheldon Richardson or this defensive line or front seven at all, but he's a cornerback that's been dropping on so many draft boards that, to me, if he falls to number 26, the Browns got to snatch him up. Just a couple months ago, he was arguably the number 1 corner in this NFL draft. Now he's fell to like the 3rd best corner, and he's still respected highly in this draft, but if he falls, he falls, and I think the Browns should take the risk on it. I don't think there's that much risk. It's considered a minor back surgery. So to me, the Browns, the automatic 2 steals they got to sweep up if one of the 2 falls is Micah Parsons in the linebacker position, who could pass rush himself and read defenses really well and might be a guy that can really help captain that defense with the linebacker and Anthony Walker. So Micah Parsons or Caleb Farley, they fall, but in a realistic scenario, I'm thinking Christian Barmore, 26 overall. There's speculation of he might not be a first rounder. He might fall to the 2nd. But to me, if he falls out of the 1st, he's going to go within the top 12 of the 2nd round. He's not going to fall again to the Browns in the 2nd round. If they want him, they got to snatch him up in the 1st round. And I like that move. Like I said, a defensive line, a Christian Barmore, Malik Jackson, Takarius McKinley, Myles Garrett, Jadeveon Clowney. That's one of the best pass rushers in the league on paper. We have to see come NFL season and come game time if it's actually going to click and execute. But on paper, that is one of the best defensive lines in the NFL. Obviously, we don't know how the rookie will be. Obviously, we don't know how Jadeveon Clowney's health will be. So that's why I'm saying on paper. But overall, this Browns team is coming together. I like the Sheldon Richardson release to use that $12 million elsewhere, going towards Jadeveon Clowney, and maybe they're looking at other guys in free agency. They don't have a ton of money to play with by any means, but if they're looking to make one more small move, maybe a Richard Sherman, I doubt that's what's on their eye, but if they're just looking to save a couple $1 million to make one more small move, this is why I like the move, because it creates a couple of options for the Browns. Overall, I like the move. Like I said, I like their defense, what's coming together. The secondary's addressed this year to help out Denzel Ward and John Johnson and Troy Hill. Myles Garrett in the front 7 was addressed to help him out, getting Jadeveon Clowney, Malik Jackson, Takarius McKinley, and saving money losing Sheldon Richardson. And the offense is looking as stout as ever. Best offensive line in the NFL, best backfield in the NFL, Kareem Hunt, Nick Chubb. Baker Mayfield's becoming a top 10 quarterback. And you might have a top 6, top 7 receiving core with a healthy OBJ, Jarvis Landry, Rashard Higgins, and the double tight end threat in Austin Hooper and David Njoku. Overall, though, this Browns team looks ready to win, and Sheldon Richardson, I seriously think, was a good move, and you can't lose much out of him. He only got 4.5 sacks last year. 4.5 sacks, you're not going to be against it, but 4.5 sacks is not going to make or break your team by one player. You're looking for a guy that could get double digits, and I know that wasn't Sheldon Richardson's role to get up there and get double digit sacks, but that's overall, I'm just saying 4.5 sacks, losing that or adding that, it's going to help or hurt your team, but it's not going to make or break how far this Browns team goes. I like the money move and possibly looking after Christian Barmore, but let me know what you guys think in the comments. Is it something I'm not thinking of on this move and on this release, and who they might go for in the draft? Whatever your thoughts are, comment down below. To me, this just screams Christian Barmore from Alabama. I appreciate it for watching, guys. Like I said, comment down below who or what you think about it. Thanks for watching. 2-Minute Warning.